You ever wake up on a Saturday morning dreaming about bacon and quiet only to hear a sound like a bomb went off in your yard? I'm talking about a blacked out BMW plowing straight through my brand new white picket fence, splinters flying, tires screeching, the whole 9 yards. The stink of booze so strong it hits you like a slap before you're even fully awake. And before I can even get a "what the out of my mouth," here comes Patricia. You know the type, every neighborhood's got one. HOA queen marching up to the cops, waving her little badge, demanding her precious boy be let off the hook. And just like that, she tries to pin it all on me. Her son's car, my fence, every ounce of the chaos. Drops a fake police report in my hands, basically blaming me for Bryce's drunken demolition derby. Meanwhile, Bryce just stands there with this smug little smirk, and Patricia, well, you'd think she just won the lottery, grinning like she owns every square inch of this street. Big mistake, lady. Because not even 2 minutes later, here comes a tow truck, sirens wailing, hooks up Bryce's precious BMW and drags it off right in front of their faces. The look on Patricia's face, if I could bottle that shock and horror, I'd sell it as instant karma. But honestly, that was just the warm-up act for what turned into the worst week of Patricia's life. And let me tell you, it was about damn time. You ever dealt with people like this? Drop your story below. Let's compare HOA nightmares. Seriously, I want to hear them. Anyway, call me Garrett. Garrett Holloway. I'm 52, an electrician by trade. Recently divorced, which I thought was going to be the worst chapter of my life. Joke's on me, I hadn't met Willowbrook Heights HOA yet. I worked 2 years of 60-hour weeks, lived on gas station coffee all so I could finally buy a place of my own. A little 1970s ranch. Not much, but it was mine. Navy blue shutters, tomato plants in perfect rows, and every Saturday morning I'd nurse a cup of black coffee on the back patio, boots up, breathing in that sharp October air. Felt like starting over, you know? Like I was finally putting down real roots. The best part, that white picket fence. I built it with my own hands, 3 weekends, every post lined up, every board just right. My own slice of the American dream, or so I thought. Then came the storm. I'm talking 2 feet of powder, overnight winds, howling temps so low you'd freeze your mustache off if you so much as stepped outside. And who was out there shoveling driveways at 5 a.m.? Me and folks like me. Neighbors used to wave from their windows, bring you soup when you worked late, ask about your kids. Honest people. Working people. But lately, the block's been filling up with tech execs and California transplants folks who see property values where I see friends. And they want the services, sure, they just don't want to look at the people who do the work. Enter Vivian. New neighbor, big white Tesla, zero sense of humor. She's HOA president in under a year, and let me tell you, she runs this place like she's building her own little gated utopia. Never waves, never thanks you, but she notices every tiny thing. And she's not the only one. There's Patricia, too. She makes the rules and breaks them when it suits her, all while pretending she's doing it for the community. After that blizzard, the trouble started. I got slapped with a violation for, get this, aesthetic non-compliance. My crime. Apparently, my work truck was visible from the street for 5 minutes while I finished shoveling. I paid the $50 fine, figuring maybe Vivian just needed a win that week. First mistake. Because people like her, you don't give them an inch. They take your whole backyard. 2 weeks later, another envelope shows up. Violation doubled. They're coming after my fence now, saying it's out of compliance, demanding I move it or pay more fines. I'm standing there with my morning coffee, just watching that letter flutter in the breeze, realizing, oh, this is war. See, my ex-wife's lawyer taught me something valuable in disputes about property damage. It's all about documentation. So I get out the measuring tape, take photos, retrace the tire marks from Bryce's drunken joyride. Fence is well within my property line, built it myself, measured 3 times. The evidence is airtight. Then a twist. Mrs. Monroe from 2 houses down says her doorbell cam caught the whole thing. We huddle over jasmine tea, watching the footage, Bryce swerving, phone in hand, music blasting clear as day. Timestamp 7:23 a.m. No fog, no excuses. So much for Patricia's story. Armed with that, I file a police complaint, send a letter to every board member, photos, everything. The whole truth. I'm thinking, okay, this will clear it up. But Patricia, she doesn't play fair. That night, Officer Martinez calls me quiet, nervous. Tells me off the record there's been pressure from community leaders about how these reports are written. Patricia throws barbecues for the police, donates equipment. If you can prove it, I'll fix the report, he says, but it has to be bulletproof. So she'd bought herself a cop, too. Great. Next thing I know, the HOA schedules an emergency board meeting. The agenda: unsafe property modifications. Translation: Let's crucify Garrett before the truth gets out. Patricia's running the meeting like a judge at a witch trial, nails tapping, board members nodding along. Mr. Kowalski actually falls asleep while she drones on about community standards. Vote comes down 3-2 against me. $500 fine for a fence they now say was always out of compliance. They even invent a brand new rule retroactive just for me. You know that taste when you're so angry you can't even speak, like chewing on pennies in disappointment? That's me watching them close the meeting. But sitting there, something clicks. I see it all the little ways Patricia's run this con for years. Manufactured violations, kangaroo court votes, intimidation. It wasn't about my fence or some $800 in repairs. It was about power. Patricia thinks she's got me pinned. She thinks I'm another guy who'll fold. But here's the thing, when you've already lost everything, you've got nothing left to fear. So I dig. And I find a gold mine in the courthouse basement. 25 years of contracts, all leading to Patricia's family. Her brother-in-law's company getting triple the market rate for maintenance, emergency repairs that never happened, community funds vanishing right before Patricia gets a new kitchen. She's been bleeding this place dry for decades. But evidence is just paper if no one will back you up. So I start talking. Mrs. Monroe tells me Patricia's son destroyed her mailbox 2 years back and she still got stuck paying the bill. Mr. Kowalski admits he rubber-stamped votes because Patricia threatened him. Every story, the same target, the vulnerable, the new folks, people without connections. Then jackpot, turns out Patricia skipped mandatory audits for 4 years. All it takes is 25 signatures to force a full audit and dissolve the board. Her whole kingdom one step from crumbling. But Patricia's not done. She sends me a bill over $4,000, threatens my mortgage piles on late fees, starts sticking orange violation notices on my door. She's trying to break me financially, socially, you name it. And then Bryce, sweet Bryce, spray paints loser on my mailbox at 2 a.m. Caught it on camera, clear as day. Cops take 45 minutes to show up, even though the station's 5 minutes away. Martinez shows up, looks uncomfortable, basically begs me to handle it, neighborhood style. Translation: Patricia's reach goes deep. But that's her mistake. Because every time she escalates, she creates more evidence. And now I've got help. Mr. Kowalski, turns out, is retired IRS, 27 years investigating financial crimes. He's been documenting Patricia for ages, just waiting for someone with the guts to take her down. Sarah Martinez, paralegal, and Officer Martinez's sister, jumps in too. Mrs. Monroe's daughter helps trace Patricia's fake social media posts back to her own house. We're not just neighbors now. We're an army. We gather signatures, 25, then 40, then 60. Neighbors start telling their stories. Manufactured violations, threats, stolen money. Turns out Patricia's been stealing not thousands, not tens of thousands, but millions. The community reserve fund that should have had over $8 million, down to less than $130,000. The rest gone. Patricia's family living large on stolen money. We time everything just right. County hearing, local news, attorney general complaints, even a media campaign. We bait Patricia into making her move, a $100,000 bribe to settle and shut up, which we record in glorious HD. Every desperate act adds another nail in her coffin. Bryce, finally busted again for drunk driving, gets arrested. Patricia's husband tries to bribe me in the grocery store, recorded, of course. They try to smear me online, but we trace it all right back to Patricia's office. She's so panicked she starts liquidating assets, prepping for a quick getaway. But it's too late. The evidence is overwhelming. FBI comes in, freezes assets, executes search warrants. Patricia's arrested Bryce too. Emergency town hall meeting, 300 neighbors packed in news vans everywhere. Patricia's husband files for divorce. Derek flips for immunity. Board members resign en masse. The mighty queen dethroned. And when trial day comes, it's a circus. I take the stand, evidence piled high. Audio recordings, bank statements, forged contracts, every bit of it traced to Patricia. She tries to talk her way out, blames everyone else, but it's all there in black and white. The judge doesn't hold back, calls it the worst abuse of community trust he's ever seen. Patricia gets 18 years in federal prison, ordered to pay back $23 million. Bryce gets probation and community service, cleaning up the very parks his family neglected. The crowd in the gallery cheers. For once, the bad guys don't win. Afterward, neighbors hug me, thank me, share their own stories. Kids wave signs. News crews film my freshly rebuilt red, white, and blue fence. Fees drop, transparency becomes the new norm, and the air feels lighter, like justice. So here's what I learned, and listen close, this matters. Bullies count on you to stay quiet, to be scared to look the other way. But one stubborn neighbor with a camera and a stack of paperwork can topple an empire built on fear. And when folks stand up together, well, that's how real change happens. Now it's your turn. Have you ever had a Patricia in your life? How far would you go to take down someone who thinks they're untouchable? Where's the line between standing up for yourself and taking revenge? Share your story below. Let's see how many Davids are out there ready to take on their own Goliath. Me, I'll be out back, coffee in hand, fence, standing tall, finally at peace.